Guys, back at you again, and we're gonna finish this debacle that we call Tupac Shakur and his fake ass persona. So let's get right into it, and let's see if we can't finish this up.
Deal with the world as it
Hold on. I mean,
back that adults get, but
whoa! I gotta go back a little bit more.
Yeah, I've actually been working already. Like I've been
As
going
you
to
should.
school during the day, then I work 8 hours at the pizza place, then go home.
Not the cap.
And if I'm,
You mean the pizza place that you quit before you showed up there? So you have no job now.
isn't it like 40-hour a week? That's what adults work, right? And that's
Not
what I'm
the
working,
cap.
40 hours a week. I'm still not getting the respect that adults get, But I'm not. I
Well,
don't
that's because you're working at a pizza shop and you're a loudmouth.
keep sounding like I'm worried about respect and fame and all of that. I'm just saying that. I mean, ancient civilizations have survived without going to schools like this. I mean, they've learned.
That's true, but we all know that going to school is a big predicator of making more money and being more successful. Not always, but your chances are much higher.
From the past.
If you major in science, technology, engineering, and math, then yeah. If your job caps out at 35,000, then why the fuck you going to school?
We're not being taught to deal with the world as it is. We're being taught to deal with this
Not
fairyland.
the cap.
I disagree. I think we are being taught to deal with the world as it is, and that's the problem. The world as it is messed up, and they're teaching us more and more how to be messed up. So I kind of disagree. If we were taught the right way to live, we all would be financially literate. There wouldn't be as much murder, negligence, and all this nonsense we deal with. So I disagree.
Which we're not even living in anymore. It's sad. Because
For
I'm
who?
telling you, and it should not be me telling you. It should be common knowledge. Aren't they wondering why death rates are going up and suicide is going up and drug abuse? Aren't they wondering? Don't they understand that more people are, more kids are being handed crack than they're being handed diplomas? I mean, it shouldn't, okay, in school we're learning to analyze, and then, well, I learned it, well, they should relearn it. I think adults should go through school again. I think that.
What do you think college is? That's adults going to school. So yeah, a lot of the shit he's saying is just bitch babble.
I think that rich people should live like poor people, and poor people should live like rich people.
No, stop
Not
it.
the cap.
Rich people are rich because, well, most rich people are rich because they had dreams and they followed through their dreams and achieved their dreams. Why should they have to downgrade because they have a better work ethic than someone else? Like, I don't agree with that. I think if you worked your ass off to get where you are, I'm not talking a trust fund baby that was handed everything. I'm talking about the guy that came from nothing and built an empire, or a guy that, had a decent life and built it even more. Like, those are the people I'm talking about. Or a woman either. It doesn't matter, man or woman. I'm saying a person that builds their life up and gets to their dreams. No, they shouldn't have to downgrade. They did what they were supposed to do. They handled their business. Most of the time, people that are poor aren't handling their business. They're doing shit the wrong way. They're not saving money. They went to school for a job that caps out at 30,000. Now they're in debt. You know what I mean? They overspend. They aren't picking higher paying jobs and higher paying career fields. So it's a lot of different things you got to put into it. It's just not one thing.
It should change every week. And we'll have.
It should change every week. You see how sporadic that thinking is? Oh, so all the rich people and poor people will flip-flop for every week, and we'll flip-flop. Like, what's the sense of that? You know what I mean? Like, oh, the rich people will just... They know that it... Most likely, though, a lot of rich people were poor at one point, and that's why they're rich now, because they don't ever want to be that way again. That's what you don't understand. It's all about work ethic most of the time, and just knowing how to, put shit together and putting it into motion. A lot of people just don't have that in them. A lot of people talk about what they want to do, but they can't actually put it into action. They don't actually have the tools to do it. That's why not everyone can be rich. Only a very small minority of people are rich, because not everyone has that in them.
Best rounded people.
Otherwise, we all would be rich if it was easy. It's not easy to be rich.
They deal with people.
And a lot of people that were rich, believe it or not, had the money and lost it and had to get it again. Because when you were rich, you had to learn how to be rich. It's not just, oh, I'm rich now, I'm good. No. You have to know how to make your money work for you and not how to not spend it all on boats and houses and cars. That's not what you do when you're rich. When you're rich, you keep multiplying so your family behind you don't have to work as hard. And that's what it's for. It's not all for you. You know what I mean? You got to leave this world with some type of legacy. It can't be all about yourselves, gentlemen. You got to think about other people, mainly your family. You know what I mean? You leave them a legacy, they'll remember you for the rest of their lives and your generation.
And I mean, everywhere. Look at civilizations. Look how we grew. You know, and I think
What is he talking about?
we need to learn from our mistakes and stop.
I agree we have to learn from the mistakes, but I don't know why he brought that up.
Emotions, which we're doing now. It's like we're waiting for some big button to be pushed or something like that.
Can you hear me about that too?
A big button to be pushed?
What can you do when you grow up, right?
Okay.
That you can make a difference.
Well, as it is, and it's honestly, I feel this.
He feels this
I
way.
mean,
He feels this way.
Look at civilizations. Look how we grew. You know, and I think.
Now let's see. Excuse me. Let's see some of this now. Him, wilding out.
And instead of trying to assimilate and get a pass, and that's how I feel. And this whole
Feelings based.
anger comes from I'm tired of waiting for my past to get into society. All I ever wanted to do was make me and
And causing more trouble and attention to yourself. I don't agree with
I'm
that.
saying about the places that we
It
stay.
sounds nice.
This is our home base. Let's build it up. Let's be happy about where we come from. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to assimilate and get a pass key to where they at. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that everything needs to be separate, but we gotta find pride in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And
I agree with that.
once you get the pride,
But the thing is, he's a big part of why we don't have pride in ourselves. The way you act. You're a role model. People watch you. All the dumb shit you do, people imitate.
damn near 2 seconds after the pride comes anger from being held like that for so long, and to be made to go through those changes, you get mad.
And that's why you got to practice stoicism. Stoicism is the act or the practice of not showing emotion, even if someone wronged you. Even if someone did something to you, you find it in your heart to just not even react, not show any emotion, not appear as if it bothers you. That is what separates the men from the women and the boys and the men. Stoicism, believe it or not, men, learn how to be stoic. Being angry all the time, crying all the time, yelling, all these overly emotional things are going to get you nowhere in life at all. And it's probably going to land you in jail most of the time or in some type of trouble.
Saying as soon as any black man receives his first 3 checks, he starts getting mad. Because it's not about the necessity of having to have a job and having to pay and having to do that. You don't care no more about the smiles and the, yes, master, because you done got paid. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like you want to save money. You want to help other people. And you see how far it
That's not everybody, though.
is, how far you have to go to help anybody in your neighborhood. It's set up for me when I get paid for me to exit the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? The only reason
Well, everybody wants to leave the ghetto. Black people, everyone wants to get up out of there because it's hell on earth.
just because I haven't left yet. And these problems don't come from a white man. It comes from just society, the problems that we have.
All right, just angry as hell. And then back to the flamboyant Sugar Spice Shakur.
We need to learn from our mistakes and stop just going through emotions, which we're doing now. It's like we're waiting for some big button to
He said that. I probably went back.
Can you hear me about that too? What can you do when you grow up, right?
Okay.
That you can make a difference.
Well, as it is, and it's honestly, I feel this way. But society is like it's like, you know those little things they have for the mice where they go through around a circle and there's little blocks for it and everything. Well,
A maze?
society is like that. They'll let you go as far as you want, but as soon as you start asking too many questions and you're ready to change, boom, their block will come.
Well, that's if you're the wrong person and you're talking to the wrong people. So yeah, that I do agree with that, because there's a lot of classified information that, you know, the higher ups don't want Americans knowing. You know, like there's obviously something they're preparing for. We've got underground cities. We got tunnels from Washington all the way leading to California underground. You know what I mean? We literally, guys, look this shit up after you watch this video. There are underground cities in America. Of course, around the world too, but in America, type in underground cities in the Ozarks. And then from there, you'll see it's everywhere. They're in the Ozarks. That's where it began. It's spread out further than that now. Now it's everywhere. And it makes me think they're preparing for World War III or some kind of crazy nuke or something. That's what I think. But, I've been doing some research. We'll probably do a video on that too, on the Ozarks and the underground cities. So we're going to do a whole bunch of different types of content.
Mines will come through being a statistic. I'll get caught up in all of this, and one day I'll be with my friends, and they'll go, let's go out party. We don't have a car. Let's steal a car. Forget it. Let's just borrow a car.
See, and him just saying that in a joking, laughing matter, a youngster is going to watch that and be like, oh, it's not that serious. He's laughing about it, and he did it too, so let me go do it. You see how this goes twofold? It's all hand in hand. He's complaining about society, but he is part of why society is ruined.
Car. We'll steal a car and I'll go to jail for 16 years.
Look at him smiling about it. There's nothing to smile about. You're stealing somebody else's shit.
Come out and be bitter. Knowing all of this, saying all of this, but be bitter, And it should be, like the past elections, watching Jesse Jackson run and watching Dukakis run. Those two people, Jesse Jackson and Dukakis, two people who I thought were there it is. I said, all right, finally we're going to get a better America. But what happened? Bush won. I couldn't believe it because every time I asked people, who would you have voted for? And everybody goes, Dukakis. But how did Bush win? I keep wondering. And then that just makes me rebel more against society.
Because the presidents are chosen ahead of time. All the elections and all the, the debates and the ballots, that's all just a show. It's all a song and dance. They already know who the president's going to be. They're literally just doing lip service. You know what I mean? Hillary knew that Trump was going to win back then. Trump knew that Biden was going to win. That's just how it goes. Obama knew he was winning, guys. Come on. It's just like the NFL. Everything is scripted, man. But they still got to find a way to get America to believe and to take America's money and waste America's time and energy, all that.
Because it's supposed to represent the people. I don't want Bush in government. I spent 8 years.
Well, guess what? Not only we get one Bush, we got two Bushes in presidency. So that's how you know it's all rigged and scripted. His family has some oil money, so they were always going to get baked in there.
My 17 years on this earth under Republicans, under Ronald Reagan, under an ex-actor who lies to the people, who steals money, and who's done nothing at all for me. And I don't think Bush is a bad person or a bad president, because for the upper class, he's a perfect president. And that's how society is built. The upper class run it while we talk about it. I mean, the middle class and lower class, we talk about it.
No, the upper class collects the money and the middle class runs it. He said that wrong. The middle class, they do all the work. They generate all the money and the revenue. But the problem is, it all goes up top to the bosses who are just hanging out. That's really what he meant to say. And then they start talking about it because they're realizing, well, we're doing all the work, but they're getting all the money. That's what he meant.
And for the working class, we're just lords. We're going through the motions.
I just said that.
And they get to live like royalty.
Well, working class is now the middle class. It's like, you got to think, this is 1988, guys. The working class is the middle class now, guys. Back then, middle class was kind of the upper class in the 80s. You got to think. Middle class was really upper class back then. Upper class was rich, and then rich people were wealthy. Now it's all dropped down a notch. So you got the working class. That's the middle class now. And now you just got rich. That's all you got. You got rich, working middle class, right? And then poor people. But I'm telling you, the poor and the working class are very close to each other. That's how shit's going right now.
Do you think when you're talking about classes, do you think children or kids are sometimes considered a lower class?
Yeah, I think so.
You can't really put kids in any type of class unless you're going by their parents. That's it. But you can't really rate anyone on anything until they're 18, in my opinion.
Even with children, there are classes.
I disagree.
Even at TAM, there's the lower Marin City class. There's the low white class, the lower white class. There's the middle class white class and the middle class black class, and there's the middle class I mean, there's their upper class white and upper class black, and that's a shame that it has to be cut in so many pieces.
What he's talking about are the parents, though. Like, as kids, we don't give a shit about none of that. It's our parents that teach us that and tell us to carry ourselves a certain way. So I don't know what he's talking about here.
Because it all boils down to this one piece of money that how can this is a big question and no one's there to answer it, and this is staggering. How can Reagan live in the White House, which has a lot of rooms, and there'd be homelessness? And he's talking about helping homelessness.
Well, that's because they don't care. They create homelessness, guys. This is the same country that brings in drugs into the hood and distributes it out. The American government does that shit. The American government, they're helping terrorists right now. They're helping Gaza build some piers right now to help terrorists transport weapons. So, I mean, for him saying this doesn't surprise me. Our country, as much as I love our country, it is a wicked country, man. Like, God is going to definitely handle a lot of this country. This country and many others are going to be judged by God himself. Believe that.
I mean, about practicality. All right, if there's someone homeless in Washington, D.C., if there's homelessness...
You guys wouldn't believe the shit that our country's doing right now. Like, I'm going to stay neutral because I know a lot of you guys are proud Americans. I am too, but, man, we are in a fucked up time right now. There are a lot of fucked up leaders, a lot of fucked up things are happening right now.
And he has the White House, which has 1,000 rooms. Why can't he...
Actually, let's look that up, how many rooms the White House has, since we can. Right? Google.com. Whoops. And then we'll put how many rooms are in the White House. The White House remains...
According to the White House remains a place where history continues to unfold. There are 132 rooms, 35 bathrooms, and 6 levels in the residence. There are also 412 doors, 147 windows, 28 fireplaces, 8 staircases, and 3 elevators.
Now, why the fuck do you need 28 fireplaces? And that just shows you how big that building is. 28 fireplaces? And how many of those fireplaces do you think a president would use in their tenure? 1, 2 maybe? Like, who are those fireplaces for? Who's even seeing that stuff? 100 you know what it is, guys? You know why I think they do that? They give that to the president. They're like, here, you have all this space to explore because you're not really going to be able to have a real life and be anywhere else. So it's like, here you go. You live here and you have all this to explore and be in, but you can have all different rooms, pretend you're somewhere else, but you're not leaving. That's basically what it is. You're basically a prisoner to that house. Like, I would never want to be the president, honestly. It sounds amazing, but you're literally a puppet and you have no control of anything. You have to go to meetings all the time. You're under scrutiny. People love you. People hate you. Like, I would never want to be the president. I don't care. If you told me right now you could be the president, no way. I'm backing off. I don't want that.
Take some of them people off the street.
Even if I were qualified, I still wouldn't do it. I just would not. Like that it's because think of all the stuff I would learn and all the stuff, all the secrets I would have to keep. Like, that alone, man. Like, I don't want to live like that. You notice, like, every president that goes in, they go in very spry, looking fresh. And then 4 years, 8 years goes by, you look at them, they look like they went through hell. They walked through hell and came out to a crisp. Like, a lot of them look like just tired, grayed out, fucking just like death, decomposing. Like, I don't want that for myself. All those secrets you're going to know, all the classified information. You say anything, you're dead. No, that ain't gonna be me. Nah, I would never. And if you try to change anything, they assassinate you. Hell nah. Nope. You think as a president you can do, you can make change, but there's only so much you can do. You really have your hands tied behind your back.
Because he doesn't want to get dirty. The White House would be a little tainted, and when it's rich people from...
Hold on one second.
Why can't he take some of them people off the street and put them in his White House?
Oh.
Because he doesn't want to get dirty.
I mean, yes, but also, you're not going to bring homeless people into the White House. Like, come on. Like, things would get stolen. Like, I'm not saying like they're bad people, but those are people that are down on their luck. You know, they need money. You don't think that they're gonna see something valuable and try to like take it so they can pawn it? Like, come on. You can't bring homeless people to the White House. Maybe if you said, oh, he bought out a hotel and, you know, kept it for the homeless people under, like, you know, supervision, and there were the guidelines and stuff they'd have to do, so they couldn't just go there and smoke crack all day, you know, like a place to stay, you know. But, like, yeah, you can't bring them to the White House. Come on, Tupac, what are we doing?
Stop the cap.
White House would be a little tainted, and when his rich people from Jamaica and everything comes to see him,
Jamaica?
Oh, these people, you know, and that's dumb. He wants to build houses and everything. Let him stay in the White House. All those rooms are not being used. Then he'll have people from the streets to help him make with his ideas.
Yeah, but they don't want that, and his ideas don't mean shit because he doesn't get to use his ideas. All right, ideas are already put in place. So what he's saying is just would never happen. It's a fairy tale world. You're not moving homeless people into the White House, nor are you listening to their street advice. Sorry, their political acumen probably isn't where it needs to be.
I mean, these people that are homeless have done things. They haven't been homeless forever. They've done
Well,
things.
you don't know that. Yeah, and they certainly have done things, but these things they have done, how the hell could they help in politics?
Society. They've done things. They've had jobs before, and they've done things.
Have they? Like, are we sure we're not talking about a drug addict?
They've worked hard.
Alcoholic?
There should be an automatic.
Like, we're not talking about a Vietnam vet here, or, you know what I mean, someone that had a fire and lost their home. We're most likely talking about a complete fuck up of society. That's usually, I'm not saying all the time, but 90% of the time a homeless person is someone who made terrible life decisions. Usually, that's how it goes. Like, sometimes it's a tragedy, yes. Like, I'm not going to discount the tragedies, because absolutely, they're tragedies all the time, but not that much. It's a very small minority of tragedies that end up on the street. And a lot of tragedies, they get helped out by family, the government, friends, you know what I mean, because they're not a fuck up. But if you're a fuck up and a tragedy happens, a lot of people say fuck it because they don't want to deal with you because they know you. Or you're just a fuck up and no one wants to deal with you. That's usually what a homeless person is. Usually. Or it's someone that doesn't have family, you know, that happens sometimes where, like, you know, you just don't have family and, like, you're just by yourself and just down on your luck. That happens too, you know. Or sometimes you have a mental health issue and then it's fucked up. But there are families out there that'll have a family member that with a mental health issue and they'll just kick them to the curb, you know, and just out of sight, out of mind, you know. It's sad, but I've seen it. Like, it's a terrible thing. But God will take care of those people too. Like, God will judge those people. The person with the needs, the special needs, nothing's going to happen to him, you know what I mean? He's a sick person. God's going to give everyone grace. So a sick person that got sent to the streets because of his fucked up family, he's not going to get judged. God will give him a chance, to, you know, to repent for anything and follow his way, you know? But those people, God don't want nothing to do with people like that. You would turn your family away? What would you do to God?
They get a house somewhere and live comfortably. There are things they can do, you know, and I think that's wrong. I think that's really bad.
You're very interesting stuff, but you're also entertaining at the same time.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like you're in the right field, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
You're in the right
it's
field, I
insightful,
think.
But it's also like we're getting a kick out of
What, give me you like last year you were in New York?
Yeah.
Where?
No, last year I was in Baltimore. Year before that I was in, I spent 3 years in Baltimore, my high school years, going to the School of Performing Arts. Then, before that I was in New York. That's where I grew up.
Look at his mannerisms. He's like New York. Like that is, look at this again, guys. He's absolutely gay. There's nothing wrong with it, but like trying to make this guy a freaking a thug and all this is just insane.
Year before that I was in, I spent 3
right here,
years
watch.
in Baltimore, my high school years,
Wait
going
for
to the
it.
School of Performing Arts.
Right here.
Then, before that I was in New
Right
York.
there.
That's where I grew up.
What was that?
Was
What was that, gentlemen? That was probably the gayest, most flamboyant thing I've ever seen.
We moved out of New
He
York
keeps topping himself. I keep saying, oh, that's the gayest thing, and then he does something gayer.
because All of these because of my mother's choices, you know, and
Nosedive.
she couldn't keep her job because of her choices. Because it
At
was
least, well, that's the truth right there. At least he's being truthful. Yeah, her choices are why she's there. It's not anyone else. I like that he did that. Accountability.
But, yeah, no, it was. She was calm now. I mean, it was totally calm, but
Huh?
it was like they figured out who she was,
What? All right. Did he just take that accountability away?
and she couldn't keep a job. That should be illegal. So she lost her job, and of course,
Yeah, he took the accountability away from her losing her job. Oh, she forgot who she. They found out who she was. Tupac. That wasn't it. She probably wasn't doing her job properly, or there was something else. He also mentioned that she smoked crack at some point. Maybe it was that. Maybe she was smoking crack at work. Who knows?
we were like stranded in New York, and yeah, so we're stranded in New York. So we moved to
Stranded. How do you get stranded in New York out of nowhere? Bad decisions, guys, that he's not fully telling us about.
Baltimore, which was total ignorance town to me
So you went from stranded to New York to Baltimore? How does that even happen?
because okay, it was just like I mean, in Baltimore, it's just ignorant. I don't even. It gets me upset to talk about it. Baltimore has the highest rate of teenage pregnancy, the highest rate of AIDS within the black community, the highest rate of teens killing teens, and the highest rate of teenage suicide.
Very
and
low
the highest rate of
education.
blacks killing blacks in Baltimore, Maryland, and this is where we chose to live. So as soon as I got there, being a person I am,
Well,
I said,
you
no,
just said
no.
you were stranded in New York. Chances are you didn't choose to live there. Chances are you had to go there because of out of necessity, most likely.
Changing this. So I started a Stop the Killing campaign and safe sex campaign and
Stop the
AIDS
cap.
prevention campaign and everything. And then I came back and I felt like I did a lot of good. I did good things and everything. Came back. The second week I was in California, I got a call and two of my friends were shot dead in the head. Two of the friends that were working with me were shot dead in the head. And it's just like, why try? Because this is what happens. But I still try, you know?
Stop the
And I came
cap.
to California to escape that violence that I escaped New York for. Then I went to Baltimore, escaped Baltimore for, came to California. Come to Marin City, and there's skinheads violence. There's racial violence, which I deplore.
Stop the
I
cap.
can't stand racism in any form, shape, or color. I can't stand it. So what I did was,
Stop the
I
cap.
told
I don't believe that. Do you guys hear the rap songs that he be rapping about? According to your raps, like, you are pretty goddamn racist. So fuck that. I reject what he just said
talk
there.
to people and everything. And what happened,
Unless he's saying all the shit he was rapping about isn't true, then okay, you got me there. But he hasn't said that yet, so he's lying right now.
Tam is really integrated. So there was a party, and it just happened. There was a white girls' party, and everybody goes. It doesn't matter. And there's racism, but it's not like that. You know, we understand each other, and we're children, and we're able to talk to each other about it. So everybody went to this party, and I was working, and I was going to go to the party right after I got off work, me and my friends. So we got off work, we're on our way to the party, we're laughing and joking, just going through. We see our friend Jonas, who's white, and he's telling us there was a fight at the party. And I was like, what happened? He said the skinheads came and called the black people niggas and made them said they had to leave, and of course there was fight. I was like, oh my God. So we were sitting there, they went home, we were sitting there talking and everything, and me and my friends just like, this couldn't happen in the 60s, you know, let's figure out what to do. And you just
This couldn't happen in the
we'll start the
60s?
Black Panthers again. So we're starting
Stop the
Black
cap.
Panthers, but we're doing it more to fit our views, you know, less violent and more silent, you know, more knowledge to help. You know, what we really want to do is get the pride back in the black community, because I feel
What,
like
the gay pride?
if you can't respect yourself, then you can't respect your race, then you can't respect another's race.
I agree with that part, though, that he's saying. That I agree with.
You can't respect, you know, it just has to do with respect, like my mother taught me. So,
But the thing is, he's talking out of the side of his mouth, though. You're telling black people to be more respectful, but you haven't been that. You're basically giving a prescription for something you're not even taking. Like, you're not respectful. You're not treating people with respect. You literally just, like, clowned some guy on camera because he was trying to sell a bootleg copy of your CD. Where's the compassion and love there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he just talks out of the side of his mouth, whatever feels or sounds nice at the time. Whether he's rapping, acting, or talking on in an interview, he's just always gonna find the right thing to say. And it just doesn't matter if it means what he actually wants it to, or if he means what he says.
What we're doing is starting the Black Panthers again in Marin City. Just getting first teaching pride, and then teaching education, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And also as a defense mechanism for the skinheads.
Low key, I think he's talking gay pride though, because he like lights up every time he says pride.
Because that's wrong, and I hate to feel helpless. And so skinheads hate black people, and
Stop the cap.
I'm gonna be there. I have this vision of just us growing and them decreasing, because that's how knowledge works. It's contagious, you know. And so, if there was war and peace, peace wins out. So I just want to.
If that were the case, why isn't there world peace everywhere? Why are there more wars than peace or fighting? There's more fighting than there is anything else. So I don't agree with that.
Form it and let it work.
Because it's easy to be mad and to be to have turmoil with somebody. It's hard to be a good person and do the right thing and, you know, accept everyone. That's hard. It's easy to fucking hate everyone. That's an easy thing to do. That's why no one respects a hater, because it's easy to hate someone.
Work.
It's hard to love someone and learn to like them and respect them. That's something hard because it takes effort. It takes a lot of things, you know. It really, you got to dig deep sometimes. You don't got to dig deep to hate someone. You can just hate them.
I know the skinheads are gonna go like this. So, and I want to take, you know, I just want to learn from our mistakes. And I'm talking to a lot of the ex-members of the Panthers from the 60s, and they're helping me because they're less violent. They've learned. So, and they did a lot of good things in the past, and we can do a lot of good things. So since my mother was an ex-Panther, and talking to Geronimo Pratt and a lot of ex-Minister of Defenses and everything, so we're going to do a lot of good. I feel like we're going to do a lot of good.
Stop the cap.
And we know that wasn't the truth. Because he turned into this man.
Let me put this to you. A lot of people tell me Tupac is, for the most part, a nice guy. This old thug thing, hype. Good for record sales.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Helps him identify with the young people who are out there and angry, who would maybe label him a
Now let's see the lie that he says here, because he smiled right after he asked that question.
out, like they did Hammer if he didn't have that hard side. What about that?
First of all, nobody could call me a sellout.
Stop the cap.
I'm doing it right now, buddy. What you gonna do? Well, I don't think he's dead though, so I'm not really disrespecting. I think he's either got a different like mask on or he's on an island somewhere. So me personally, I don't think I'm disrespecting him. I just think I'm calling him out for his lies.
I'm not going for that.
'Cause I don't think he's dead.
I'm not looking for approval from the black community.
So then why the hell do you act the way you do? And you said that you were looking for the black community to be better. And you said you wanted to help the community. So that's a lie right there. So that's two lies in one.
Because we don't give approval. You know, we don't really do nothing but
That's bullshit. We do give approval. You know who we give approval to? Rappers, right? Actors and athletes. That's who we give our approval to. So he lied again. That's three lies.
So it's not like black people could tell me you a sellout or you true blue. You know.
I'm doing it right now. You're a sellout. Okay?
I'm saying it's not that. I'm not even caught up in that.
So that's four lies.
But I can see that. You know what I'm saying? The one thing we do have in common as black people is we share that poverty. So
what we share is a complexion, not poverty, because not every black person is poor, you dumbass. So you see what I mean? That's a fifth lie right there.
Side is more closer to the poverty than me being rich. You know, how can I?
That's not always the truth. Now that's literally you want us to be respectful, but you're disrespecting us by saying that. That's crazy.
Come to any community center, you know what I'm saying, sporting a Rolex Presidential, all these diamonds, and be like, look, we, you know what I'm saying, gotta. But now, when I say we, they know what I mean. I'm not saying like I live in this neighborhood and nothing, but I'm a thug, and they thugs. They can relate to. I don't even have to say that. You know what I'm saying? When I come, I don't have to say I'm real. They already know that. You know what I'm saying? From me.
Nah, that's just lip service, because I see right through his bullshit. I literally see right through it. It's all a mask.
And me, from not pushing the thugness, but I know from the business that everybody in this business is always whispering in your ear about what you can't say, what you can't.
Nah, he knows exactly. So what he can't say, he used to say. You know what I mean? So he found out what was taboo and did it because he was trying to get attention. He's trying to get whatever would turn the heads on him, whatever would get people to listen. That's it. That's all his job was to do. Get people to listen to him, whether it was song, artistically, or through interviews. Any way you can do it, Tupac. Act a fool. Get people to pay attention to you.
You can't wear in this world and in this world. It's two worlds, a white world and a black world. All I did was stand in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And say I'm living in both worlds.
So that's fake right there by definition. You're living in both worlds. So that means you're split personalities. You're acting two different ways. That's what that means. So that's a sixth lie right there. The lies just keep racking up.
The streets and survive, and I can go out here and do my business out here.
So he's a chameleon, guys. Guys, like, do you need any more evidence? Let's finish this off. This guy is a complete fraud.
I feel like you wanted to say that you really had a chance.
I don't know. I know as soon as I walk out, I'll go, oh, God, I should have said that. But just to end the importance of growing up just growing up in America. I loved my childhood, but I hated growing
Stop the
up
cap.
here, and it made me very bitter.
So then how could you love your childhood if you hated being poor and you were very bitter? So that's just talking out of the side of both mouths right there. So that tells me he probably wasn't poor. You know what I mean? Sounds like he's just trying to like get people to identify with him. He's trying to get millions of black boys to identify. He's in a performing arts school. How could he be poor? That just doesn't add up. Those two don't mix. Performing arts school and poor does not mix, guys. It doesn't.
It's like, all right, now I got a job. I had to quit now. I had a job, and just today I got paid, and I have money in my pocket that I worked for.
Oh, stop it. What do you have, like 50 bucks?
The greatest feeling, that I worked for. I'm just getting a job, and I'm working and everything. That feels good. But I'm still poor. My family's still poor. I'm still living in the poor.
And that's why he sells out even more. He realizes, in order to get the big bucks, I got to act in a big way. You know what I mean? That's all it is. The way I'm acting right now is too small. I got to make a bigger persona, a bigger personality to get that bigger payday. And he got it all right.
Poor neighborhood. I still see people poor. I still see things that, like,
I still see people
society,
poor.
This is supposed to be a melting pot, but no one's learning from the other's mistake. And that's where the tragedy comes. Because if we were all open and everything, we would learn from, like, in Marin City, I've seen already deaths. This lady slashed a man's throat because he spit on her kids. And I've seen...
You were doing it too! But you're spitting at grown people, though.
Teenagers fighting last night over girls. And I've seen guys speak to women with this much respect.
And what do your rap songs do? See, guys, I'm telling you, it's all an act. Now he's defaming men for disrespecting women, but he does that. How many of his songs would he call women tricks and hoes and bitches and all this other shit? But now he's saying this, guys. So that's how you know that all was an act. So anybody can act gangster and be a rapper. If you do it the right way, you can be a fake gangster. It's not really too hard. Like, you do need the look, so you might have to work on your looks. But if you act like belligerently and you talk a certain way and you just move a certain way, you'll be all right for the most part. But do you have the balls to do so, and do you have the balls to embarrass your family? That's the question. I don't.
Deplore that. My mother is just totally... I grew up. My mother raised me. So...
Yeah, we can tell.
I have this much respect for women, and I fight.
See, and that's the problem. So you have no respect for men? Is that what that means? So you have all this respect for women, but no respect for men? When most likely that's going to be your authority in life. So that's the problem with black kids. A lot of us don't learn about a male authority. We only think female's the authority. So we end up only respecting what females say, which is not good. You should be respecting what everyone says, not just a female, because you were raised by one. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
Over girls, and I've seen God.
Wrap it up a little.
That was... I'm masculine. I'm mad at me.
He said he's masculine? Hell no.
They call girls because I was too be like them. Because they seem to get the girls, and they call girls the B word, you know, and they smack and
The B word. You see him, guys. He's so gay.
I get a lot of friends but I get a lot of friends because I have respect for women, ultra respect for women. But then, like I was liking this girl in Tam, and I'm extra nice, you know, extra gentleman.
And that's probably why she didn't give you those cheeks, because you're too nice.
Just like, oh, you're beautiful, and
in his raps, he's calling women tricks and hoes and all this, right? But you're extra nice, extra gentlemanly.
You deserve the best. And she told me I was too nice.
Tell me I don't know my shit, guys. I literally just said that, and she says it, and you can even look back on all my dating shit I did years in the past. Same shit, and this is 1998, guys. So almost 30 years later, guys, the shit I say still fucking plays. This shit plays now. It's gonna play 30 years from now. It's gonna play 50 years ago. Doesn't matter. So the point is, women are women. That's the point. So if you act too nice, you ain't gonna get the girl.
I couldn't believe
Well, not genuinely anyway. She might use you.
it wouldn't work because I was too nice. That was the ultimate stab in the back. So I went through a week of just...
And the thing is, being too nice means you're acting a certain way. You're acting a certain way to get what you want. So women can see right through that. You're being extra nice. So the woman's going to be like, what are you being extra nice for? What are you trying to do? So that's another reason why women see through that shit.
Just going, forget it, I'm just going to be like them. Because they seem to get the girls, and they call girls the B word.
So I'm going to be like them. So in other words, I'm going to act differently. So he just admitted it again, guys. He just keeps telling on himself. And he doesn't even realize it. So he's basically been telling us this is an act through his own words.
You know, and they smack and beat, and they'll get
Oh, like, yeah, they smack and beat. They call him the B word. So, like, this is your thug, guys. This is your thug. They called him the B word. I couldn't believe it.
Just going, forget it, I'm just going to be like them. Because they seem to get the girls, and they call girls the B word, you know? And
The B word. Look at this.
They call girls the B word, you know? And they smack and beat.
Wow, I can't believe how gay he did that. Wow. 34:45. Wow. Yeah, we're going to have to put that on blast. 34:45. I don't got something to write on there. 34:45. Yeah, I'm going to have to put him on blast right there, because that mannerism is just beyond gay. Look at this.
They call girls the B word, you know?
The B words. The B words.
Girls, and I'm going, peace, and I think you're beautiful, and they're
What
going,
the hell's
well, I
wrong?
like him because he's masculine.
Yeah, and he doesn't call me beautiful. See, guys, I'm telling you guys, the shit I say is what works. Don't act like Tupac. Don't be extra nice. Oh, you're so beautiful. Like, no, don't do that shit, man.
I'm masculine. I mean,
You are not masculine, bro. There is nothing masculine about
Stop
you.
the cap.
Bro, he just said that he was masculine, bro. Tupac, you are not masculine at all by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, hell no.
and with the guys, I'm trying, and like yesterday he was cursing, and I was like, don't curse, and he got mad at me because I told him not to curse.
Because why are you telling another man what to do? Like, that's not gonna ever work out for you. You're not his father. And like, I thought you were a gangster. Like, where's this coming from? Oh, don't curse. Don't curse. Like, what?
But my plan is that if I keep telling girls not to let them call you these names, and I keep telling,
He's like, don't curse. And then we have this guy over here. It's like, what?
I'm play devil's advocate again.
I'm just trying to understand, like, how you go from that to this.
You're being pimped by the record executives who will allow you to do your thug life because it portrays a certain black. I mean, you've heard it.
Yeah.
That if you were just a singer, you wouldn't have the same record contracts you have.
Hell no.
But because you
That's
portray
true.
the thug life, the gangster rap, they've allowed you to make that money. They've allowed
He's a great actor, man. That's all it is. He learned the game.
push it, make you platinum.
I beg to differ. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting pimped. That's true. But just like how a woman would be, you know what I'm saying? Anybody to be pimped. You know, it's like It's not that you get pimped. It's how long you get pimped. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really look at this situation, it is not I who's being pimped. When you look at them white kids with Raiders hats on, it's the white folks getting pimped. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm making their future. I'm writing down their curriculum. Right now, what I write in my album today, when it comes out in 2 months, that's what white kids is doing. So who really is getting pimped? What I'm writing in my raps is what the white kids is gonna be saying to their mamas and daddies when they come home. Who is getting pimped?
I don't know what he means when he says that. Like I don't get what he means by that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a high school dropout. You know what I'm saying? As far as my teacher told me when I was in high school, I ain't gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta. It's going down. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. You know, everybody's getting pimped. Whether you work a 9 to 5 or whether you work for yourself, you're getting pimped by somebody. That's not the crime. The crime is how long you allow yourself to get pimped. You have to come up.
Well, if everyone's getting pimped, then there is no time limit because you're always getting pimped based on your logic. So that doesn't make any sense. So it's just a lot of word salad, bitch babbling. He tries to be like a philosopher, but there's no philosophy involved. It's just opinions that are wrong.
If I keep saying it, it's going to catch on. Because the girls won't allow them to be their boyfriend if they're going to speak to them like that. And they're going to want me. So in order to not...
Yeah, that strategy didn't work out.
Get them to go with me, they're going to have to change, and that's how they change. So I'll be the scapegoat, no problem. As long as it changes.
See? And again, he doesn't mind being a scapegoat. Like, I don't want to be no damn scapegoat. Screw that. So he just admitted it again. Just keeps giving us nuggets if you really listen. So, like, this is the fakest gangster ever, man. Fakest, but probably the best at doing it because he got paid for it, and people really fell for this shit. Like, he had me fooled for a little while. Like, in high school, like, I thought he was really like that until, like, you know, my brain... I had an underdeveloped brain in high school, like most of us. So once my brain developed in my 20s fully, I started thinking more about things and started pulling the brakes and just wondering to myself... There's no way that this guy is really like this and over the top all the time. There's just no way. And that's what got me looking into a lot of this stuff. So we're going to end it off here. I think we've done enough ripping of his you-know-what and you-know-where. Probably he would like it, though, because we just found out that he is on the other team, if you know what I mean. But either way, I don't fault him for it. You know, he's a human. We all like what we like. It's just that I don't know how no one else called him out on that. So it's just weird that, like, you would think that a lot of people would be talking about a lot of these issues and things that we talked about here. But we'll leave it off here, and we'll talk about... I think we're going to do the Ozarks and the underground cities next. I want to explore more on that and see what's going on with that. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for new content.